everybody. Welcome back to my poorly lit basement. My name is Candace. This is a channel mostly about cross stitch with some knitting and some quilting thrown in, and maybe some yarn dyeing sometimes. This is Flosstube number 10. 10, yay! So I'm lucky I remembered to take my badge off before I sat down to do this video. Number one, I had to do it on my phone because the tablet is dead. Number two, both my kids have had all electronics taken away for the next couple of days. My older son is until Friday, so he gets them back on Saturday. The youngest is today and tomorrow, and then he gets them back. So if there is chaos reigning above us, I apologize. And because I'm using my phone, the camera on the Surface is directly in the middle of the screen, up the top. The camera on my phone, however, is over there. So I gotta remember to try and look at the camera over here and not up here. So yeah, and it started raining as I was walking out of work. So all my hard work on my hair kind of, but it's okay. It is what it is, right? You want to look at the cross stitch. You don't want to look at me. So, I didn't have any finishes this week, but I actually did get some stitching done. So, this, I'm trying to remember where this was when, oh, I know where it was, because I hadn't finished the house yet. So, this was a Mania start, and this is Buzzy String. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, because the lighting down here is amazing. I'm so sorry. This is Buzzy String from Lizzie Kate, and I'm doing this on 28 count Mushroom Lugana. My phone's kind of far away, so I kind of got to reach out pretty far to get you. But, before, I was almost done with the house. So I've gotten a little bit more done since then. I had hardly any stitching time this weekend. We went to my mother-in-law's this past weekend, and we had to do some stuff at my uncle's house. My sister and I are managing his estate after he passed away. We're the only blood relatives left. So we had some stuff to do up there, and then my husband and I went to IKEA on Father's Day so we could get a whole bunch of stuff. I got stuff for my bathroom, we got stuff for our bedroom. Some of the stuff was out of stock, so we're gonna have to go and get it at a later time. But and I literally just threw everything in a pile over here, just a stack of stuff. So I'm gonna separate real quick while I'm talking. But so the only stitching I got done at my mother-in-law's was, let me show you what the full pattern looks like. This is a Carolyn Manning design. And it is called, oh, and if you hear like a little like crunch, crunch, my little boy cat over there is eating because that's what he does. So Carolyn Manning, the pattern is called Winter Path, and I'm actually doing that to, sorry about the pipes. The water in the pipes. So this is Winter Path. Checking to see if you can see the whole thing. Almost full coverage. I don't know if I calculated it correctly because the little white lines in between the blocks, those are not stitched. So if I calculated it correctly, it's like 93% full coverage. So I'm not going to be able to use this for the any of the challenges for Full Coverage Fanatics. And I was like, darn it. So I went to Joann's in Toledo, Ohio, and I was able to get the one color I was missing. So that was 03, DMC 03. So I got this and these two done at my mother-in-law's. That's it. That's it. That's all I got. It's like 126 stitches or something like that. That's all I got done. So, this, I love this. I love sitting there and working on it and not having to think. Just, I mean, it's boxes or triangles. That's it. So last night I actually picked this up and I was super excited because I want to stitch on this all the time, and then I end up, something happens, I run out of time. We had 2 dogs and now we have 1. Lucy was our second dog that we adopted on February 15th, and unfortunately she was not right for our family. She needed a place where she was the only animal. And I mean, we're active, so that wasn't an issue. Taking her for walks, going on runs, you know, taking her to the dog park, that was no problem. We do that with our other dog already. But she had attacked one of our cats. And then she attempted, I don't know if she was actually going to bite him or not, but she did kind of like snap and lunge at my son. And I just, after the cat attack, I was like, we've got to find her a new home. So we actually went back through the Humane Society. They vetted someone. They found somebody for her. We had a meetup the other night. And I think it was just over an hour that we sat at the Humane Society. Everything was great until it was time to leave. So it was a little bit of a disaster, but Lucy is in her new home. I do not know if she has a new name yet, but we are going to keep in contact so we can get the dogs together to play. But she isn't married, doesn't have kids, no other pets, so all of the focus will be on Lucy, which is exactly what she needs. So that one whole night, I mean, by the time all that was over, I was so frazzled and stressed and worried about Lucy and if she was going to be okay. And I mean, she's not my dog anymore, but I want what's best for her, and I was worried. So I didn't do any stitching that night. I just basically sat and stared at the TV with my husband. So last night, I didn't have a whole lot of time to stitch, and I know I didn't get that many stitches done. I wrote it down. I used if this is the first time you're watching, I use the 24 Hours of Cross Stitch calendar. You can find that on Etsy. Jen Lee of Quirks and Stitches. So if you look on Etsy at Quirks and Stitches, you can find this calendar. It's amazing. One of these days I'll just hold it up and show you what everything looks like. But right now this needs to be a fast video before all HE double hockey sticks breaks loose upstairs. So, it was 149 stitches last night. So it was not a lot. But I'll show you what the whole thing looks like. If you have been around before, you've seen this, because I believe I show it every video. I can't help but stitch on it. I mean, you know, if I can find it. So this is Mini Dark Goddess. You can find this on the Heaven and Earth Designs website. It's a mini, so it is not ginormous, but I worked on some more of the lighter stitches right in here. And I probably should not use that finger. I'm sorry. I apologize. So I worked on these stitches right here, and I am really ready because it's been a lot of light stitches on a white background. I'm super ready to get back to a dark color. So, I don't know. The page ends, I think right here is where the page ends. So I may kind of hunt down in this area and see if I can find some darker stitches just to stitch for a little while. I don't know. But the really light stitches at night after working all day and staring at, I have dual monitors in my office, and one of them may hold YouTube more than work stuff, but don't tell my boss. So that was that one. That's it for stitching. I didn't do any sewing this week. I didn't do any knitting this week, but I made some plans for both. So my goals, I think for this week, as far as stitching goes, it looks like my next video will be July 1st, which is the day my littlest gets his cast off. Yay! I think I'm just going to stitch what feels right at the moment. So, playing ball upstairs. So it may be full coverage. I just want to stitch the full coverage right now. I don't know what the deal is. I had planned on doing Kringles for July. I don't know if that's going to happen. I feel like right now I just need to do what feels right, because it's the one thing I can control when everything else is not in control. I mean, work is crazy, the kids are crazy. I'm starting to get anxious about what's going to happen when school is supposed to start back up. You know, I know I'm not a teacher. There's a reason I didn't go to school to be a teacher. I don't want to teach. I love my kids to death, but do I want to screw up their future because I suck at teaching? So, I don't know. I really hope they get to go back to school, because I don't know if I can do it. If I can do e-learning with them during the day and then go to work at night after my husband gets home. Get a couple hours of sleep and do it all over again. I don't know if I can do it. Like, I'm not 25 anymore. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, thank goodness for anti-anxiety medication. Yay. Which surprisingly has not had to be adjusted during all of this. So something is happening right. But anyway, went off on a little tangent. I did, oh man, left it upstairs. So I'm sure most of you have heard about it by now. Long-Dog Samplers released a free chart until the 26th. I don't know if it's like midnight on the 26th or if it's like 12:01 a.m. on the 26th and you have to start paying for it again. Look on their website if you haven't gotten it yet. But the chart is called Pandemic. I can show you a picture here. I had actually printed out a picture of it at work, and then I left it in my work bag upstairs. So this is what it looks like. This is Pandemic. I ordered fabric for it. It is vintage Stormy something or other. Well, I would look on my phone if I could, but it's recording. Anyway, once I get the fabric, I'm going to take it to my local needlework shop, which is House of Stitches in LaPorte here in Indiana. And I'm going to do a floss toss and see. At first I was thinking I want to do like a deep plum color. As much as I would love to use overdyes or silks, that's a lot of money that my husband is not going to be thrilled with me spending. Especially when we're still in the midst of redoing this area down here. So, I will probably just do DMC. I may do one of the variegated DMCs, depending. People have said that a highly variegated is not going to be good for this design, and I can totally see why. So I may just stick with a solid, but at first I was thinking a deep plum, and then I thought my linen and threads sampler that I'm doing, the 2020 mystery sampler, that is free, by the way. You can find that on their website, the Linen and Threads website. I'm doing that in purples. So then I started thinking, well, what if I did like a dark teal? And I hate the way this color of the wall is right now. Is not the color of this wall. The lighting is awful down here. So I apologize, but my wall is not that color. But I'm thinking maybe like a deep teal on that, because the Stormy Gray just has a little bit of modeling. So it's not like crazy contrasting, because I don't want the fabric to take away from the design. So once I get the fabric in, I'll show you, and then who knows, maybe I'll have been to my LNS by then and have figured out what color I'm going to use. So that was a freebie. Heaven and Earth Designs is having a sale right now. I think it's like 40% off. So I guess, I don't know, you're enabled. I'm sorry. So I ended up getting 2 charts. I got, this is also from Carol Cavaleris, that I'm doing Mini Dark Goddess, and then I have Mini Goddess of Fire, I think. But this is Mini Summer Hummers. And I figured I better get a mini because the other 2 are minis. And it might be a little strange if I had like a regular size and then 2 minis. So I think what I'm going to do is once I get the 3 of them done, I'm going to put this one in the middle. And then Mini Goddess of Fire, I believe that's the other one, can go on this side where the reds are. And then Mini Dark Goddess can go on this side where the purples are. So that's my plan. I got to stitch them first. And then I also got this one is called Kitty Heaven. Now this one is the regular size chart, but it's not like max color or anything like that. So it's got 88 colors. It's Kitty Heaven by Amy Stewart. It's so cute. And I tell you what, that's probably what this room is going to look like in about 10 years. I could totally see this room looking like that. Although, I never counted to find out how many cats are in here. There's at least 8. There's probably 10 cats in this chart. Go on Heaven and Earth Designs website and look at Kitty Heaven. There's at least 10 cats in this chart. I'm going to have to do some looking and see when I can find them all. And name them. So, those are the 2 charts I got. I restrained myself rather well from getting a whole bunch of charts because these are full coverage. Like, I'm only going to live so long, you know? So, yep, I think that, oh, I did get one more cross-stitch thing. I got, hold on, I got a, from StoneStreetStitch Works, this is called the Mlk Sampler. I don't know if some of you have seen it, but if you go on StoneStreetStitch Works Etsy shop, I believe this is like 50 cents just to cover the cost of the Etsy fees. Otherwise, technically it's free. So it says, the time is always right to do what is right. So this is definitely going to be one that moves up the list and pushes some other things out of the way. Those little birds, they're so cute. And then I think I showed this last week, but I can't remember for sure. It was from Camille. Bonnie and Camille have fabric lines, and they design fabrics. Well, Camille did a cross-stitch pattern that's called Stitchville. And that's what that one looks like. And I'm a little nervous now because I didn't really pay attention to it before I bought it. It's got 1/4 and 3/4 stitches. I don't know that I've ever done 1/4 and 3/4 stitches before, so it should be interesting. And I think all of those are on the little thread spools and the houses. I believe the center motif is just regular full crosses. But I like that, and I considered doing the center motif only, like in a bunch of different colors that would go with my walls that are not really this color that it's showing. I don't know, we'll see. So I think that was it for the stitchy stuff. And then obviously no sewing. Especially because I brought my sewing table down here. I'm getting a different one, but for right now, this one is my sewing table and my sewing machine's upstairs. So I did get, this was actually a package deal from, oh my gosh, Missouri Star Quilt Company. And it was, this one is, let me see if it's got the volume on it. Oh no, it's just an idea book. Okay. So it's the Missouri Star Quilt Company Block Idea Book, and it's got a whole bunch of different quilt patterns and such. Hold on, I think there is, oh, I was hoping there was, sorry. I was hoping there was a page, oh, kind of. I can show you that. So there's 10 quilt patterns in here. Maybe there's an extra. But they all show in the back, like under what fabrics you need, and then inside the book is the actual pattern. So I had seen some stuff in here that I liked, and with it came Fig Tree & Co. This is one of their, like a cream neutral. I can't remember exactly what the color is, and I don't have the invoice down here, but it is 1.5 yards or 2 yards. But those two came together, and they were like a deal of the day type of thing, and who doesn't need neutrals for backgrounds for quilts? And then from Thimble Blossoms, that's Camille's, I forgot to tell you that on the Stitchville, Camille's company that does like her quilt patterns and now her cross stitch patterns is called Thimble Blossoms. And I got, this actually came as a 4-pack. It's the Shine On Pattern Bundle. And Shine On is their new fabric that releases in October, I think. Don't quote me on that. But here's the first one. And this one is Hello Sunshine. Try and get my fingers out of the way. I love it. I love the colors in that one. And that one is actually great for fat quarter bundles. This one is great for jelly rolls, which are the rolls of 2.5-inch strips by width of fabric. This one's called Rain or Shine. You can find these on Thimble Blossom's website. So if you go to thimbleblossoms.com, you can find their fabrics. They have patterns. This one's called Daybreak. And all of these can be adjusted to, this quilt is like 71 by 71. I could easily add some borders and make it fit our bed probably. I think this one was 66 by 74 and this one was 70 by 70. So definitely good size. And the final one, this one's called Rainbow Connection. This is great for a honey bun. Honey buns are 1.5-inch strips in a roll. Sorry about that glare. Those are tiny squares. 1.5-inch, which means after sewn, they finish at 1-inch squares. So, and it makes a 76 by 76 quilt. This is one of those that would be awesome for scraps. It's strip pieced, but it would be awesome for scraps. And I don't even know how many honey buns. 2 honey buns or 64 1.5-inch by width of fabric strips. Then you need 5 3/4 yards of background fabric. Wow. It fit my bed though. So that's what I got from Thimble Blossoms. I loved it. And how cute. It came wrapped up in, this is one of their fabric scraps from their fabric line. It came wrapped in that. They took the time to put a little fabric tie on the patterns. Right? That's awesome. And then this one came from Missouri Star also. This is basically like a jelly roll. It's just not in a roll. And this is from Wilmington Prince. It's called Summertime by Lisa Audit. They call them 40 karat crystals. So they're very like Americana. And I need to go back and look, but I believe I got this for a quilt along that's going to happen in July. Let me look and I will let you know next week. But I'm pretty excited because I really like these fabrics. They're really pretty. And it looks like I can just use regular white for background for that. So, let's see if I got anything else. Let me see. Oh, the Stillness Shawl Mystery Knit Along starts tomorrow. And that one is by Helen Stewart. Her knit design company is Curious Handmade. So I don't have the yarns right here, but I need to wind these tonight. These are the yarns I'm using. I showed these last week from Amanda Hope Yarn. And I've already figured out which is going to be A, B, and C. So I need to get those yarns wound tonight because the first clue releases tomorrow. So I need to get that done tonight. Otherwise, there's two knitting podcasts that I watch, and I think I mentioned them last week. Grocery Girls Knits. They're amazing. They're Canadian. Actually, they're both Canadian. Grocery Girls Knits and then Cozy Up Knits. Both Canadian knitting podcasts that I watch. They're amazing. One is 2 sisters and one is 4 sisters. I don't know. I love them both. Cozy Up Knits, they actually have a group on Ravelry, as does Grocery Girls Knits. They are doing a summer sweater knit along. Basically, anything that has sleeves qualifies. Cap sleeve, short sleeve, 3/4 sleeve, long sleeve, doesn't, as long as it has sleeves, it qualifies. So I decided that I was going to pull out, and they said whips are welcome, works in progress, which is fantastic because I started the Olive Cardigan by Joji Locatelli. When did I start that? September 5th of last year. Because Joji does a fall knit along each year, and so I started this sweater for it. And then let me show you what the sweater is going to look like. We'll start there. I love it. It's like a great, like, kimono type sweater. So this is the Olive Cardigan. I'm doing it in, it's brown. It is Knit Picks Hawthorne Grants Pass. So it's like a variegated brown, and this is where I was at the last time I took a picture of it. I honestly don't think I'm very much farther than that right there. The back collar and part of the shoulders. That's pretty much as far as I've gotten. So I decided that I'm going to pull that out, and that's what I'm going to work on for their summer sweater knit along. So if you're a knitter and you had a sweater you were thinking about doing, go over to Cozy Up Knits and join in on their knit along. And then I think Grocery Girls, they have like an ongoing sock knit along, but I already have enough going on. I don't need to join in on that too, because there's, I think 2 quilt alongs that I was looking at doing. One from Fat Quarter Shop. See, this is why I need to write stuff down. I only have my cross stitching organized. I have a calendar for cross stitch. I should probably start putting my knitting stuff in there too. So I think, honestly, I think that's all I have for right now. Oh, this one. Since I forgot last week to tell you what the name of the wrap was that I had on this one. This is a design by Maryland. Let me get all the stats for you. I knit this one quite some time ago. Oh my gosh, it sounds like a herd of elephants up there. So Melanie Berg, she goes by Maryland on Instagram and Ravelry. This is called The Love of Spiders. And here is hers. Those are the colors that she used. And this was kind of based off of Charlotte's Web. So it's kind of like when the spiders start to hatch and there's just a couple, and then all of a sudden there are dozens of spiders, hundreds of spiders. So Let's see. And in here it says, as Charlotte told Wilbur, you have been my friend. That in itself is a tremendous thing. I couldn't resist when I saw this one come out. So I actually stitched this in Sunshine Yarns, luxury sock. On their website, it says Luxe sock. What colors did I use? So this was a kit. So this gray is spiderweb. And then the dark, it's kind of like a dark navy, is called Charlotte. It sounds like something just came down the stairs. Like a toy. Lovely. So anyway, I did this in 2016. I started this on January 13th, and I finished it on February 17th. It took me a smidge over a month, like 4.5 weeks to knit this. I believe at the time I was working, yeah, I think I was working in coat check at the casino. So I was able to knit. That's a cat toy. Anyway, so I love this. It's super soft. Oh, it's a cat messing around. What are you doing, Zoe? She's got one of the new, like, it's like a ball that has a rattle thing in it, but it's covered in twine, so you can get the claws into it. So she just brought that down the stairs the long way. Thump, 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 thump. But anyway, Sunshine Yarns, you cannot go wrong. This is Luxe sock, but even their regular classic sock is amazing and soft and so nice to wear. So this is a regular triangular shawl. It's not an asymmetrical, it's a regular triangle. It's such an easy knit though. This is all, it looks difficult, but it's all slip stitches. It just worked up so fast. And when you have good yarn that feels good in your hands, things get stitched up really quickly. So that is it for this week. That is not as short as I thought it was going to be. I'm rolling in at a half an hour. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope I get some more stitching done so it's not quite so light on the cross stitch side. And I will see you guys next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.